Warning: the following video has nerdy references. Jocks be advised. Thank you. Hello guys and welcome to the Pudgecast. Today you are watching the video that me and Emily have recorded.
Hello.
And what we've been doing is we've been starting this Let's Build series, but it's going to be called Let's Build Together. Basically the idea is that both me and Emily are building the same project, but with our own different takes on it. So I believe this one we decided we were going to work on a dwarven fortress. Now Emily, this is you running around at the moment. Yeah. So do you want to talk about what you're doing?
Okay, so here at the moment I'm just assessing the area. That's what I did first, and I found this really nice loop structure made with rock and dirt. It was naturally spawned in, and so I chose that as my beginning point because I wanted my dwarven fortress to look something like Farthen Dur, where the entrance is actually concealed by a waterfall. So I was going to use this loop as the waterfall area. So I just had to start building up the mountain around it because of course that was a sheer rock face that I had falling from the loop, so I needed to bring that out and make it into more of a mountain shape, and also to create the gully that of course Aragon and Brom travel down to get to the waterfall.
I was about to say, you may need to explain Farthen Dur.
Ah, yes, of course. I forget that not everyone's such a big nerd as I am. Aragon is a book series. It's 4 books. It was originally 3, but they made it 4, which was very upsetting when I tried to read the last book and realised there was another one.
Christopher Paoloni.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. But yeah, so it's called, I think it's the Inheritance series. Is actually the full
Cycle.
name. Oh, is it Cycle?
Inheritance Cycle I.
Oh, you know more about this than I do then.
I like the books.
That's alright then. The film is terrible, by the way, guys.
Oh god.
So don't bother with the film.
It's absolutely awful. They didn't even line it up with the books.
But that is how I got into it originally. I found the film and then, went from there really. I spotted it in the library and was like, oh, I wonder what that's like. Although it was the second one, so I actually read the series backwards to begin with, which was interesting.
It's interesting, because I found the book in the library as well, but I just spotted it and saw the dragon on the front.
Yeah, I like dragon stories as well. But anyway, so that's where Farthen Dur comes from. Of course, it's the mountain under which all the dwarves hide, with the allies of
The Varden.
Yes, the Varden.
The rebels,
Surda
basically.
As well, which is their neighbouring country that, of course, the evil oppressor doesn't bother to try and suppress because it's too small. But yeah, so they live in harmony with Surda, getting their supplies from there. And yeah, so their stronghold is Farthen Dur. And of course, the only reason Galbatorix has never found them is, and believes they were dead as well, that the revolution was dead, was because, they were hidden in this mountain with the dwarves. And, you just couldn't get in. There was no way to get in because the mountain was so high that you couldn't have a dragon fly into it through the top. But it was, nigh on impenetrable because there is actually, once you get in through the waterfall, you have miles and miles of caves to get through before you get to anywhere near where anyone lives. Because, of course, when Galbatorix routed out the first dwarves, he killed a lot of them, so Farthen Dur, is largely empty. So you've got a long way to travel before you get anywhere. Unfortunately, my mountain's not going to be quite big enough to do this, so, the cave networks might not be quite to scale, but I will do my best.
So one thing I'm going to explain now, because some of you guys may be wondering, the reason why Emily is magically placing a whole bunch of blocks at once. So we're using single-player commands, SMC, or World Edit, as some other people will know it. They're part of the same, one and the same at the moment for single-player servers. And what Emily has been doing at the moment is she's setting the brush tool, which is these spheres of dirt, onto her pickaxe. Now you may see me do it with a different tool because you can bind it to whatever you want, but then it just means that when she right clicks with her tool, it just places a big block of dirt, which allows us to build much quicker and build these big structures. And especially when it comes to terraforming things, SMC has got some really powerful commands, and especially when you see what we start doing later, then you'll understand how those things kind of work.
Makes things a lot faster.
Yes. I mean, can you imagine placing all these blocks one by one? It would have been taken for absolutely forever.
It took long enough as it was.
That didn't help you have thrown your pickaxe away.
Yeah, I did press the wrong button a few times. And I kept building myself into blocks. One thing I discovered, because if your computer lags a little bit and you place down the brush, if you're standing too close, you will get made into that sphere of dirt. So you have to dig yourself back out before you can do anything else, annoyingly. So yeah, that was quite fun. Did that a few times.
There is a command called noclip, which you could use, which allows you to fly straight through blocks.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that one.
Sorry.
That's your fault.
I only just remembered.
Huh.
It just makes blocks act if they're not there, so you just pass straight through them.
Huh.
It's kind of useful.
Now he tells me.
Sorry. So either way, both of us have gone for a very hollow mountain design, building inside, which is kind of a dwarven way. Most of my video is a lot shorter, so I'm going to start talking about the background history that I've used. The inspiration I wanted to use for mine was Ironforge from World of Warcraft. These massive gates on the front, and towers, and bits sticking up everywhere. Almost as if the dwarves had started inside, but had grown so much that they started building and building until the mountain was almost just dwarfed in stone. So that's kind of what I wanted to use for mine. I didn't realise quite how big Emily's project was. Her mountain is a lot bigger than mine. But I can always expand mine in future episodes, and maybe do it off camera, because once you've seen terraforming, I think you've probably seen enough terraforming.
Well, when it comes to mine, yes.
Yes. Now, what's happening there?
Oh, that was the glitch that appeared. Because I had to log in and log out and log back in. We spent quite a while discussing this one. It was quite interesting.
That was the chunk that wasn't loading.
Yeah.
So Minecraft block takes things in chunks, so I think I can't remember how many blocks wide, but it takes a cube, and that is a chunk that it saves. And it means that when it loads chunks and things like that, it makes it easier for it to handle. So obviously what was happening is a chunk wasn't rendering, it wasn't appearing. So while Emily was placing blocks, it was still there, but it just wasn't appearing as if it was.
So when I logged back in, I had rather a lot of blocks there because I hadn't realised it wasn't working properly. So I clicked and clicked and clicked, and I had a very large amount of dirt there that I shouldn't have had. But never mind. I think I left it anyway just to add to the mountain's general shape. But
So why did you build out of dirt to begin with?
Because that's what grass grows on. I don't know, it's just, it seemed like the more logical thing to do, but of course, I suppose stone was better, because that's what you started with, wasn't it?
Just because I started with it doesn't mean it's better.
I suppose not, but, that's what I thought. Oh, here we go, that's me logging in and out.
Yeah.
You'll see the accident in a little bit.
This is you inside the dirt, because you did it from inside the chunk.
Yes, there we are, that's it.
A very nice spire.
Yes, I think I decided to leave it, though, to make my mountain higher, but, yes, it was quite interesting. But yes, I went with dirt. I don't know why. It was the first thing that came to my head, I guess. Because most of Minecraft is dirt when you're not digging seriously, as in mining. So I suppose it's what you come to.
Would you believe that actually most of it is stone?
Yeah, no. I mean, like
even in the top layer, there's only a couple of layers of dirt that just overlay the whole land. It's what allows Minecraft to look so realistic.
No, I realise that. I'm just saying, what you view most of the time, if you're not mining, then is generally dirt. So it seemed, like my natural choice, to pick it up.
Fair enough. Whereas I'd had a couple of sneaky YouTube things that I've watched before, especially with Shin, as he made...
Cheat!
Oh, cheat? What? You watched... Yeah, you could have watched them, I don't know. You probably weren't watching at that point. Oh, well. When Shin made... Shin from the Yogcast, by the way, made Dragon Skull Mountain... originally for his kingdom, and then for the Hunger Games types of PvP thing that he did in there. He built this giant mountain, and I kind of took a few tips from him on how to build mountains, including not building out of dirt, but building out of stone and then overlaying dirt. And you'll see that in a little bit. By the way, I know some of you guys have mentioned PvP. We will be building our own walls map. We will not be using the traditional one because it's a bit big for just the single four of us, and I have also some sneaky plans that I plan to put in. I may not take part in that. I may just be the cameraman between the three of them, but it definitely should be a good fun. Certainly lots of redstone going into it, and traps and sneaky evil little things. Because I'm evil like that.
Yes, you are. I don't fancy taking a wander. I think I'll stay with my mountain.
I'm afraid you will be playing the walls.
Aww.
Bit Hunger Games style, you just get picked and dropped in there.
Oh, okay. Should be entertaining.
Speaking of which, you've just finished the Hunger Games, haven't
I
you?
have, yes. They were very good. Although I'm not sure whether I want to read them again. I identified with Katniss rather too much, and I went a little bit crazy. You know, I went to work with my makeup on, going, "Yeah, let's do this!" when she was about to go into battle and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know when I'll read them again, but they're definitely worth a read, and I enjoyed them. Just might have been a bit much.
Right, so we're definitely taking the warning at the beginning of this video very seriously, aren't you, with nerdy references? Let us know.
Sorry, I don't think that Hunger Games is that nerdy, considering it's a film now.
True. We have to pretend like we're ventriloquists. Ventriloquists. However you pronounce that word. We can only talk one at a time.
Sorry, I forget.
Hi. Let us know if you like that new format, by the way, guys, with the warnings and stuff. I thought they're quite funny. I don't know how many will be released by this point. Maybe you've seen the Yogscraft one and probably the Spleef one. Definitely the Spleef one because that's coming out this Friday, which will be the 19th. That's tomorrow. So anyway, you're now on to me. I'm using a stone axe as mine just because I use the range of axes for different tools. I did start building in dirt, and then I remembered, so I quickly used the / replace tool to replace the lot with stone, although I did have some issues with range, because for some reason sometimes the range is too much and you have to kind of do it in chunks. But I think I got it eventually. Should be getting there.
Surely that makes sense with the Minecraft loading chunks, though.
It's not really with it loading, I think it just simply has a range on it because of just how much it's trying to cope with.
True. Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe it's the PC, maybe it's the server. I don't know. But either, it shouldn't be a server. We're a single player. So you see me there building frames effectively, so that I can select blocks because you have to select effectively the top left corner and the bottom right hand corner of a cube. So obviously, bottom right hand corner is fairly easy because it's the ground, but the top left you need some kind of frame. So I built some frame, and then I built the sides up using a bit more of the spheres using stone. And I think that's basically it for this part of the video, and then I don't do the overlay till later. But as I said, mine was Iron Forge, so there's going to be some big gates, going to be towers cropping up everywhere, so I don't quite need as much room as Emily did. Also, I think you kind of built out you didn't build much of a hollow structure, did you?
No, I filled it in a bit much at the back, so I think when I start making up my my main inside, it's going to be quite a lot of mining to do as well as the actual filling in as well, I guess.
But then you are looking for a cavern of tunnels rather than
true
a massive open space.
You actually know, because in the middle of there is that big empty open space.
Oh, that's true.
So,
yes.
It's going to be interesting. I also incidentally forgot to leave the hole in the top, where of course Further gets its light from.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to have to dig a hole in the top of the mountain as well. But never mind.
Mine kind of plans to be this great big open arena in the middle, with a central pillar of some sort, with then balconies running round the edge, effectively. But that's not for a few episodes yet, so spoilers! Should have said that before I mentioned it.
Yes.
Oh well. So I'm almost finished here. I'm just patching up a few holes that I've noticed, getting rid of the frames that I used, and taking a general look around. And then it's back to you.
Yeah.
So one of the mods you will see us using is we've also got something called Camera Studio, which is allowing us to create these fantastic like panoramic views of things. I don't think you see any this episode because we've just got so much to do with the terraform. We had to split it into two, but we definitely did it with the next one. So hopefully you'll see them then. Man, I am going to hand off to Emily a minute, so she can talk because I'm gasping for a drink.
There's juice in my water bottle.
Just hold it like that.
Yeah, so here you can see me now doing stone spheres. This was because Pete reminded me that, of course, maps are made of stone, not dirt. So I decided to do an overlay of the stone spheres as well, just to build it up a bit more in size. And obviously you can see there in a few places I've got some rather odd-shaped looking mountain parts. I appreciate the mountains are odd-shaped anyway, but even still, I'm pretty sure they don't, look like an L. But yeah, so I had to fix that up a bit. And I think I used rather a large brush size for them at the moment, unfortunately, which actually caused me quite a few problems later on. Because as you can see from above, there's a lot of these cross patterns from my spheres. And once all the grass has been overlaid and things, unfortunately, it makes a very unnatural looking mountain. So I had to spend a lot of time fixing that. I don't know whether you see that in this episode. I don't think so, but yeah, that was quite inconvenient. I didn't realise that would cause such of a problem, because of course I just went with a bigger brush so it'd of course do it quicker, because I had a lot of work to do. But of course I didn't think about that, so yeah, that required a bit of effort. So yeah, and of course now my mountain's, you know, taller than anything, and you can see the gully that I've got going on there as well. And I just build up the sides a bit, because I remember from the books that you couldn't really climb the sides, and there was only really a very narrow path that Aragon and Brom could follow, and the Urgles, of course, who followed them down the what's it called, gully. So yeah.
As a side note, I apologise if you can hear the really crappy music coming from next door. That seems to be happening a lot at 10:05 at night at the moment.
It's Universal Thursday, everyone goes out.
And yesterday?
That's because it was,
Hey You.
Hey You.
And the day before?
Stupid Tuesday.
And the day before? You see the problem here?
JC's Monday. And then everyone got back last weekend. So that was busy as well.
God, they play music as often as I have days where I don't have lectures.
Shush you. Oh no, this is my accident with the water.
Oh, yes, I remember this. I remember being called in.
Yes, I attempted to replace all these blocks of water so that I could create the river.
Nerd reference. 1337. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
I'll explain in a minute.
Okay. So, yes, so I had some trouble because, of course, all this water was flowing. And it was flowing in really odd directions and shapes because, of course, I just replaced the actual blocks. So, of course, they would all flow if they were, you know, above a certain level or whatever. And I had weird bits appearing. So I just had to completely undo it all and put it all back. And, yeah, so I actually ended up with Pete coming in and helping me out. And I realised also that I would have to build the river as well. You know, make the gully for the water.
The riverbed.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing here. And I actually originally thought I could persuade the water to flow from this pond here into the whole thing, which of course was a very silly idea.
I hadn't heard that bit.
Yeah, that was the bit that went on in my head that I didn't tell you about. So I thought it made me look silly.
For Minecraft players who don't know, water flows 8 blocks.
Yeah, not about 50, which is the distance I was trying to go. Oh, it's a bit dark there, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Times at 0.
Yeah. Also, that was the entrance of the waterfall as well, because of course that's right inside the mountain there, just there. So it gets very dark.
Aye.
But yeah, so I've got to empty it all out, and I make the where the water falls a bit deeper and stuff, you know, to try and be kind of realistic. But obviously, it's not, you know, the greatest. It's all a bit sort of sharp edged and things, really, for how a river should flow. But of course,
straight channeled.
Yeah, but that is one of the drawbacks of Minecraft, because it is all squares, unfortunately.
You can do some pretty good spheres.
I know, I've just not got a very good artistic eye, so it's not one of my strong points.
What I would have done in that situation is I would have used the brush tool again and set it to air.
Oh yeah.
And then, because that would dig a curve in the base.
I don't think you'd shown me air yet.
I
don't think I've done that yet.
If I remember rightly, this was you. It wasn't my fault that I didn't show you. This was you going, yes, 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 now leave me to it.
Quite probably.
I
didn't want you interfering. Because I had all these ideas and I wanted to do them before I forgot them. Because I have a habit of forgetting good ideas.
Forgetting things generally, but...
Oi!
Yeah. She beats me.
I do not.
She does.
You liar. I'm very good to you, I'll have you know.
Yes, sure.
I do.
She makes me say it.
You're so rude.
Yeah, I am. You love me, really.
Sometimes. Yeah, so here I make it deeper yet again, because I realised it's only, you know, very shallow. And then that's the pool again that I keep deepening. So everything was just kind of like I kept going backwards and forwards between the water that I had originally on the other side. and trying to sort of even it out, and find a way of, making things sort of look relatively natural. It was a bit slow going, and here I am, I'm just sort of breaking up things and, fiddling with the structure of the rock that would be opposite the sort of pathway that Aragon and Brom would use, so it didn't look too unnatural. And then I added some gravel and sand to the banks of the river, because of course where rivers go round corners, they drop the lighter particles on the outer edges. So I used gravel and sand to sort of illustrate that as best I could.
Chemistry degree. That was a silverfish there then.
Yes, it was. I did see a silverfish.
Huh.
It was in one of the blocks.
Yes, I've never seen them outside of a stronghold before.
Oh, maybe there's one nearby.
No, it would be deeper than this.
Oh. Sad face.
But possibly. But it would be deeper and it would be really obvious because it's like stone brick rather than stone.
Oh, I see. Oh. Still a bit of a Minecraft noob. But never mind. So yeah, this is the gravel going down now. Just trying to make things look a little bit more natural.
Trying to kill the skeleton with it.
No, I forgot the gravel falls.
Oh no.
But never mind. So yes, I still can't get this water to work here. So I tried using buckets of water to try and place them down and make them run properly. Try and fill up the gully, but of course that didn't work either properly. Because it just all sat on that ledge there, and you'll see it in a second. It all just especially the plunge pool there, it all just sat in really odd shapes again. I just couldn't get it to work out. So in the end I did call for Pete, and we had to start all over again.
I don't think I quite stood over again. I just used the tools to fix it.
True. So yeah, unfortunately that didn't really work out very well there.
Right, this is me in charge now. You can tell because the typing speed and the moving around speed has increased.
Shush you.
I'm being serious! And this is me tabbing out to try and find the command I need.
Yes, because it turns out you can't actually find the block of water properly just by typing in water into your inventory, which is what I would have done if I could have found it. So you had to type in the number, didn't you?
Well, first I was trying to still the water effectively. I was trying to tell it to stop. Basically, water is either flowing or non-flowing, and there is a way there, like what I've done, to stop it flowing. But for some reason it wasn't working. So I think I did end up going / replace air with water. Replace water. There you go. So that seems to have fixed the problem. And then I gave Sleeposaurus, which is of course you, hacked in water blocks. So those are actual still water blocks rather than what you would get out of a bucket.
And that fixed my river, as you can see. So it's not all flowing and looking ridiculous anymore. So that's all sorted. And here I am, I'm just hacking out an area to fall into the plunge pool. And I'm just kind of measuring things up here as best I can.
Walking around underwater?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Obviously I got bored. But
she didn't cue your bucket again.
Oh, I know what I did. I think I dropped the dropped squares. That's what I did. I pressed the wrong button. I think I dropped them. But yeah, so here I'm just cutting into the mountain here just to create my waterfall, to fall into the. Oh, that's what I did. I fell off. I kept falling off.
Oh, because you double tap shift and stopped flying.
Yeah,
and then
I'd
literally
landed
fell off.
And was breaking into the. That's what happened.
Oh dear. Simultaneous facepalm. Simultaneous?
I think it's simultaneous. That's what I say anyway.
Yeah, but you say things wrong.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
Do not.
Say pass.
Pass.
Say grass.
Grass.
Exactly. Point proven.
At least I don't say vase.
No, I don't say vase either.
I know, I'm not
Who
saying...
says vase?
I don't know, I've heard some people call it vase for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange.
There we are, so that's my waterfall going in. And of course I don't have to worry about that not flowing properly, because of course it's a waterfall, it's meant to do that.
You'd have problems if it wasn't.
Do what, sorry?
You'd have problems if it wasn't.
Yeah.
But then you do get those waterfalls in Norway and things that are frozen. They don't flow.
They do look cool.
Like permanently frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back onto me now. So we've got my giant mountain of stone. I create another frame out here. So I'm trying to select the entire mountain at this point. And as you can see, my mountain is smaller. But it's not the size of the mountain, it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
And then I'm using the overlay command to overlay blocks of dirt. So I'm letting that catch up. Except it's not working for some reason.
You obviously can't spell.
It seems to be only overlaying on the bottom layers. I don't know why at the moment. I undid it. Checked something, obviously. I don't remember quite what I checked at that moment. But obviously it was something vitally important that only masters would know, and that, you know, there was obviously a good excuse for me not knowing.
Uh-huh.
There we go, see? All working now. So one of the things I should have done is after I'd measured my thing, using the frame, I should have deleted the frame before using the overlay command. Because now there's 3 layers of dirt over the frame to delete, rather than just the one. But yeah, my mountain was as easy as that. It was just build it out of stone and overlay dirt a couple of times, and then finally an overlay with grass, just so I didn't have to wait for it to grow. And I can kind of get a feel for the thing. So we're reaching the end of the video, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time with building the entrances and a little more terraforming as well to complete. So, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, and all that lovely good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.